Hello, I welcome you to another installment of my Garve and Ullapool railway diary. It's been quite a while since my last video, and I want to show you the progress on my layout. First, I will show you some new arrivals. In the background, we've got some base toys, oxo diecast and vehicles. From the left, this is a Comet Bullion, in the middle a Leland bus by oxo diecast and a VW T2 van, also by oxo diecast. In the background you see the Great Central Lamp Huts by Farish, and here some double-O cars for my GaURy2 project. Since the last video I received some engines. On the left this is the Farish IVAT Class 2 locomotive. I fitted it with a Bachmann 6-pin DCC chip. It runs quite well. And here is the Farish J39. I also fitted a Bachmann 6-pin chip in it, but it's run in and was not on the layout. For comparison, this is a Union Mills J39. It's about 4 years old, and I had some modifications to it for better running. Now in the background you see an Highland Railway goods shed. I'm made of 1mm plywood and laminated with plastic card. The roof is made by scale scenes and then painted with acrylic paints. After the last operating session I decided to remove the track here for the planned camping coaches, because I thought that I couldn't really build a realistic scene. So now I plan to, as you see, to raise the area a little bit. Here I've got some styrofoam and it will be covered with plaster or something like else, and then maybe a small cottage will be placed on this small hillside. Since a few days I started the scenic of the station road of Ullapool. I put some styrofoam as the base and filled in the back of the segments. On top I put some card here for the street surface, and the retaining wall was made from 3mm balsa wood and 3mm MDF plates, and when finished it will be covered with scale scenes papers. After the styrofoam was glued down, I covered it with plaster. Here you see some parts which are not covered with paint and woodland scenics, and then painted it brown and sprinkled woodland scenics ground foam over it. When this is dry I will over it and then apply static grass. In this area, at the real Ullapool, there is a former graveyard which I will resample with some gravestones. People familiar with the Ullapool area will recognize that in the real Ullapool, the main street will come around here, but we suppose that the main street was relocated, and so some parts of the graveyard were relocated, and the ruin which is now in a sense at the graveyard would be demolished in my version. In this area here will be a small level crossing, which the road going to the harbor area, and here in this area there will be a boat or ship maker, a boat builder. During the last operating session I encountered some problems with this turnout. The actuator wire for the turnout slipped out of the throw bar. This happened because the actuator wire was a little bit too long when I installed the turnout, and I used a motor tool to shorten it. But because of that, the wire get hot and melted some of the throw bar, and so the wire slipped out of it. So I have to replace this turnout. I could still use it because on one side of the throw bar there is still the, as you can see here, there's still the original hole, and so it could be placed on another part of my layout. Here you could see some turnouts. One will be used to replace the defect turnout, and the others will be used for my next station. This will be in Valhalla and will be placed here in the corner where the laptop is, where the notebook is, and then beside the fiddle yard. The fiddle yard will then be turned about 180 degrees and placed here on the inside, and then connected by, with a segment with a 100-degree curve with a minimum radius of about 40 or 45 centimeters. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this short update, and I hope I could show you some news in the near future.